Hello and welcome to Ketter Farms. We're here with our precision farming series on Flint Hills by JS Mapping. And today we're going to be diving back into our soybean harvest. Looks like, surprisingly, they're still down here harvesting. And so this course is working out really well. I'm kind of curious how full our grain cart is now. Looks like we're at 94% and running right on the edge of the field here. So he's going to run down and unload into this semi. I don't know that this semi has had a chance to get loaded up yet. So this should be the first time that we load this semi and send him on his way. Looks like we're pulling in here for the unload. Hopefully this is going to work out for us. Definitely got that first point lined up correctly. Now, why is he not pulling forward to the next point is the question I'm asking myself right now. All right, so we're coming back down here on an unload course with the grain cart. And I think I've figured out what was causing our problems with not moving forward once we've got one of the hoppers full. So there's this drive on at less than property, and if you're not below this threshold, you're going to sit there and wait until something happens with where you're trying to dump into. And so essentially, I've set this up to 90% so that unless I'm like pretty much full, I want this grain cart driver, if he detects that he's full here, to move to the next waypoint. So we're going to see if that's going to work here. I think he's going to put his auger down and back up each time, which is a little annoying, but and it looks like we're pulling forward just a little bit too much there. And so if I can, real quick, before we lose sight of this, I'm going to try and stop the driver. Actually, we're going to pull this particular waypoint back a couple of feet. And do the same with this one. We've had a little bit of trouble with this 8960 getting too close to the combines when he's unloading, so I'm going to go ahead and manually set a side offset of -2 just to keep him out here, because these augers by default shoot it out pretty far. And so this is hopefully going to help him keep from getting hung up on the combine too much. And then similar to the other guy, we've set this down to 80%. I think I might even set him up to 90% so that he drives on if he's detecting that the semi-truck is full when he's sitting there. This is a really big cart, so I just want to make sure that as we come in, he's able to dump his grain into the semi and move on if the semi is too full. This is probably a little bit higher than we need, but we're just going to go with it for now and see what happens next time he needs to unload. But I think we're finally getting this stuff dialed in. It's been a little bit of a struggle this episode, kind of testing all these different CoursePlay settings, and some of that is also using some new equipment on the other side of the field here. But I think we've got things dialed in now. I'm really liking this 8960 setup. He seems to do a great job of turning around and not running into these combines. We're having a little bit more issues on the other side of the field with these new 10Ts. We keep running into the header. We keep getting stuck in traffic. So I'm going to have to continue to play with that a little bit, I think, this episode. But if we take a look at the map here, I mean, we are knocking out the acres now. Which is really exciting. And aside from getting hung up a little bit here on the headers, I mean, I think we're pretty much been good to go on this side of the field. These combines are just doing their thing. So we're going to jump back over onto the other side of the field here and hopefully follow along as this guy empties this combine and gets full enough to head back and dump into the semi. I think we're still skeptical that this course is as dialed in as the other side here. I think similar to the other one, we're a little closer to the combine than I'd like to be, given the traffic that tends to happen. So we're gonna give ourselves I think a little bit more offset here. Maybe not as much as we did with the X9s, but this spacing looks a little bit better, and I'm hoping that means we run into the header a little bit less. And this is set up so that when the grain cart gets to 90%, once it's done unloading, it's going to close up here and go unload in the semi. So I'm really hoping that we've got this all dialed in now, and this is going to work without a hitch. So we're coming in here to the course, and I will admit CoursePlay is giving my PC a run for its money right now with 2 of these grain cart courses coming in at the same time. The FPS drops every once in a while, a little bit below the acceptable threshold. And we've come into the first point here. The grain cart driver should try to unload. And I have that set at 90%, so I need to bump this up a couple percent. So you see here now, it was at 90. I was at 90 in the cart, so it didn't want to move. It wanted to wait for somebody to come and load me. But as soon as I bumped that up to 92%, it said, well, I can't unload now, and I'm below this threshold, so I'm going to keep moving on my course and see if I can unload somewhere else, which we did. And so now we filled up the back port. The semi's going to move on its way because it's full. We're going to move on its way because we're below 92%. And I think this is how I would like this set up, so that we're trying to get right back out to unload a combine again. This is going to lead to a little bit of back and forth in a situation like this, but ideally that semi would have been completely empty when I came in here, and I wouldn't have run into the problem that I just did, in that I would have dumped more into that semi and I'd be less full right now. But this is going to work. This is a good setup. And so right now, I think this tractor, my frame rates are dropping a little bit. The tractor's trying to find a way back out to a combine. And I already see another problem here. We've got a combine stuck on a fence, if I'm not mistaken. So let's see if I can jump in here. We've just caught the corner of this fence. So I'm going to stop the driver, and you can see here our harvest map, we're getting different yields. So we do need to take a look at precision farming here again as well before we start things off. And this guy is the one operating on the right, so we were right there. We almost made it to our course. So I'm going to go ahead and just put the header down here and get this guy started off. I want to pull forward into the crop just a smidge so I don't pick up this course behind me. There we go. And away we go. So all things considered, we've had a few struggles. I'm loving that line that's going to go right through the middle of that farm. We're going to have some more problems over there in a second. But we're in a good spot. Everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing right now. So if we jump in here and look at the precision farming map, you can see our yields in the different sections of this map. And they're going to line up with the soil types. So we knew salty clay is not going to yield very well. So you can see this yellow yield area everywhere in the field. We're getting about 85% yield, and down here in this section as well. So this is what we expected, especially since we didn't lime. I think we could probably get this up a little bit more, maybe into the 90%. 95% yield range in future years once we've got appropriate levels of lime being applied to these fields. But this is really cool to see all these different areas on the map and how they're yielding. I'm guessing some of these red areas here are maybe sections that withered with seasons, and so we didn't actually get any yield there. And you can see here our combines are cutting through, our grain carts are moving around the map. And so this is really cool. We got everybody's kind of moving and grooving here. All right, now this is one of those things where I just knew we were going to have some problems with CoursePlay, with these weird fields where there's these other sections that jut into a field. he doesn't know how to get over to his other waypoint here. So we're going to go ahead and just help this guy out. We're going to stop CoursePlay, and we're going to drive down here until we find where this point is over here that we're going to start this course back on again, just to cut down on the shenanigans, because otherwise he's going to try and run right into that fence, and it's just going to be frustrating. So this is the guy that is on the left side of the course here. So I'm going to just go ahead and get him started off here. And if I hit drive course, he should jump right in here and get going on these new sections on the short part here. And then I think we've already got the grain cart behind us, trying to figure out how to get up here and unload him because he's over 50%. And you can see in the distance there that both of those X9s are still just going around without any interaction whatsoever. So that has definitely been appreciated. I'm almost wondering if in future harvests it would make more sense to go left and right in this field so that I have less hassle getting around these two pillars. If we were going the long way across this field, I think we might have an easier time of it. And so I'm going to jump over here. I want to watch this larger grain cart go through this same process that we did with the other one. I've set him up at 90%. And so theoretically, this should work, but we're going to bump this up to 90. No, we're going to leave this at 90%. We're going to see what happens here. Semi is empty right now that we're coming into, and so this should just work without a hitch. Now the other thing that we're gonna have to check on here is also that our grain bins have got to be getting full at this point, and so we're gonna dump right here into the front hopper. It looks like this grain cart causes a little bit of issues. It bounces around a lot. It's causing our tractor to wiggle a lot right now on the rear end. And then, not quite what I expected. So let's see here. It looks like it tried to do the second waypoint almost at the same time as the first. So I saw the auger go up and back down there for a second. So I just want to check this course. I know we were moving the waypoints around a bit, and make sure this is working. Nope, he's looking for a course to a combine. All right, let's just unload, get this semi going, and then I'll play with this a bit again off camera. So this should be the last time that we have to manually restart these combines with the weird way that this field is laid out. So I'm really hoping that we're going to be wrapping this up here shortly. This has been a little bit of an odd episode compared to some of the episodes that I run. A lot more experimentation with CoursePlay, checking out some new mods while we crank through a lot of acres here. Let me know what you think about this format in the comments below. And I will also mention that I'm going to be live streaming here this coming Friday, January 15th, I believe is the date, at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So if you're interested in dialing in for a live stream, make sure you come by and check that out. All right, so we are heading back down here to the end row. You can see this CoursePlay line that tried to cut through the farm here as we went on to the next lands mode chunk. And we're just taking care of this manually. This should be the last section that these 10Ts have to do in this field. We are getting close to nighttime, so my goal is to wrap up the soybean harvest before it gets dark here. But we've been really going on this episode for a while now. And so I think what we're going to do is get this combine started going down this long row again here. And then or start to wrap things up around here for this episode. And next time we're going to take a look at how we ended up with harvest. So today was a little bit of a different style episode. We focused a lot on CoursePlay today, running a farm, especially a field this big, trying some different things out with CoursePlay. Definitely fun times to see how to get things going, see all the different features that keep getting added to CoursePlay and learn how those work. And so I really need to update a few of my tutorials, it seems, to make sure that we're staying accurate with everything that's come out in CoursePlay. It was fun to try out some new equipment. I really like how these Ideal 10Ts have the joysticks inside. I'm not sure I would like driving it in real life, but I like how it looks. I think that the mod authors did a pretty good job of converting the 9T into a 10T here. I like this wider header. We're covering more acres here, so while I really like the X9s and the 45-foot drapers, having a few extra feet would be awesome for knocking out the acres on some of these big fields. So if I were to kind of give an appraisal, though, between the setup that we've got over here with these two 10Ts versus how the performance of our X9s have been, I gotta say the X9s have won out. We have not had to come over here and monkey with the X9 CoursePlay courses. We haven't had to reset the grain cart driver or do any of those things nearly as much. The John Deere side of this competition, if you want to call it that, is definitely winning out right now. So I'm super happy with how this has been going. It looks like this guy's going to go over and try to start a new lands chunk while fully full. So we're gonna see him get emptied out here pretty soon. But we also got to play around a little bit with our truck courses here and the CoursePlay editor, so that's been working pretty well. And so I'm super happy that we were able to figure out how to use these double hopper trucks and have the grain cart driver behave how you would expect. And we've got the CoursePlay messages turned down so that we don't have the annoying pop-ups sitting there every time we're sitting there waiting to unload. So you can see this guy just got done filling a truck and the truck took off. So he's going to head back out here and see about emptying some combines rather than waiting around. So I'm just super excited that we're getting CoursePlay really dialed in here. We're able to do a lot more with it. I think that next harvest, if we were to attempt this, I don't think I would start on two different ends of the field. I think what I would want to do is try and set things up so that we're running 4 combines on the same course nearer to each other. I think that things might work a little bit better then. We also might run into a lot more collisions between vehicles if we get more combines running in the same part of the field. So definitely some things to think about. He's going to try and go around this little spot that we must have missed at some point restarting a vehicle. That's kind of funny that he's detecting that and moving around it. We got a lot of exciting things going on in the channel lately, so expect some new announcements coming soon. We are going to start live streaming this Friday. I'll be putting some posts out on social media and the community tab announcing that. I haven't really done a whole lot of live streaming before, so it's going to be really fascinating for me to kind of dip my feet into those waters and see how it goes. So if you'd like to come out and interact with me live Friday night on January 15th, 2021, starting around probably 9 p.m. Watch for the social media posts. I haven't set a time specifically. We still got to negotiate with the wife about the kids on what time I can sneak away and get started here. So we'll sort that out here shortly. But this has been, just like I said, a really fun episode to show off a lot of new things. Don't forget to check out Perma's Modding and get some news on this weigh scale that's coming out here that you can put into any tractor that you want. That was a really fun addition, I think, to add to this 8960 here. So with that, I think we've covered everything we wanted to cover today. We're almost at the end of the soybean harvest here, and I'm really looking forward to applying everything that we've learned in the last couple of episodes to knocking out some corn harvest acres. I think that with the higher volumes on corn, we're a little bit less forgiving if we have issues. Combines get backed up a lot faster, so we're going to be jumping over there and trying that out as well. This guy is got some guts pulling in front of the combine like that, but we didn't get stuck, and this is what I'm talking about. These guys have just not gotten stuck on each other all day today, so that's been pretty cool. They've been running pretty well, so I think that we're gonna wrap things up here. So that's all for today. Kedurk,